Hey guys, this is Josh from ThroughMyLens.com, and today we're on Route 66 exploring the state of Oklahoma. My goal for this video series was just to capture my dad and I's journey on Route 66 and to show you what this famous road looked like in June 2019. Here's what we saw on Route 66 in Oklahoma, and you can see the rest of the videos in the description. After spending a day and a half in Texas, we crossed over the border into Oklahoma. We're leaving Texas and entering into state number 5, Oklahoma. Crossing over the border brought us to our first stop, the town of Eric and the Sandhills Curiosity Shop. This place is famous for Harley, who lives there and was supposedly the inspiration for Mater in the Cars movie series. It was a crack-up spending 30 minutes hanging out with him, and he is an accomplished musician as well. Do note that most of his jokes are pretty off-color though if you're bringing your family.
Well, hey, we want to welcome you to Eric, Oklahoma, the redneck capital of the world. Would you believe where you can see rednecks working, playing their own environment? Insanity at its finest right here at the world-class, world-famous Sandhills Curiosity Shop, the only bus stop in town.
After ending our time with Harley, we drove 20 minutes to the town of Sayre. The main landmark in this town is the Beckham County Courthouse, which was featured in the 1940s black and white Grapes of Wrath movie. There are a few other old buildings, businesses, and signs that you can see there as well. 30 minutes later, we made it to Elk City with a little bit of time before the National Route 66 Museum was closing. We made it to Elk City, which has the largest Route 66 sign and a museum. You can see my dad there for scale. This museum states that it focuses on the people that lived and worked on Route 66 with an exhibit for each of the 8 states. We found it to be a lot of fun as it was actually pretty interactive and had a lot of great exhibits. What?
I'm ready!
Yeah, ready for the fire. It also wasn't very busy on a weekday when we were there, and my dad and I were the only people in the museum. After exploring for about 30 minutes, the museum closed and we headed on. Heading on for another 15 minutes, we made it to our next stop, Route 66 Museum Round 2. There's another big Route 66 museum in Clinton. The Route 66 Museum in Clinton prides itself on being one of the best on the route. It's hard to disagree with this, as this museum looks like it's had the most money invested in it. If you have movies to share, let them know. We've seen that one, that one, that one. The rest are yet to come. We especially enjoyed seeing the history that related to Grapes of Wrath, as we were listening to that book as we were doing the drive. This is basically the sign that we just held at that guy's shop in Eric's. Don't forget to go outside where they have a few more exhibits, including a Route 66 diner, which is in basically its original condition, and you can look through the windows and check it out. Honestly, this is a great museum and one you should definitely stop at if you have the time. By the time we left the museum, it was dinner time, so we headed to the town of Weatherford and stopped at Lucille's Roadhouse. The Roadhouse was named after Lucille Station, which is an icon in Oklahoma on Route 66. It was an original Route 66 service station that was built in 1927. We went and visited it after we had dinner. What'd you get? Country fried steak?
Country fried steak.
And the Southwest salad.
That chicken looks great. Look at it, like it.
I'm so much healthier than Pops is. After eating, we stopped by the original Lucille's on the way out of town. It wasn't open, but it was still cool to see this historic spot. From Lucille's, we continued on towards Oklahoma City with a stop outside of Bridgeport at the William H. Murray Bridge, also known as the Pony Bridge. This bridge is almost 4,000 feet with 38 trusses, and it was also featured in the Grapes of Wrath film. We continued on to the town of El Reno, and we were hoping to make it in time to get an onion burger at Sid's, but unfortunately it was closed when we got there, so let me know if you have one in the comments and if it was worth a stop. There was also what appeared to be a donut shop in an old service station and a cool Yukon's Best Flower building on the outskirts of town. We eventually made it into the town of Oklahoma City with a quick stop to view another bridge before ending the day. As we were driving to our hotel, we decided we really wanted to see Pop's Soda Ranch in the dark, as they have an awesome huge LED soda bottle that's lit up with colorful lights at nighttime. We made the 25-minute drive out there and it was definitely worth it to see it lit up at night. Morning day 8, we're leaving Oklahoma City. There's a severe thunderstorm warning this morning for the next 2 hours, so we'll see how today goes. We're heading to Tulsa. We're only hitting a few spots in Oklahoma City, but if you want to spend some time in the area, check out the other video I made on the city's best spots in the description. There's some really amazing places to see like the Bricktown area, Cattleman's, and the National Cowboy Museum. But anyways, back to the drive. First stop today on the way out of town, the Milk Bottle Building. This little building was built in the 1930s with the milk bottle added to the top in 1948, and it's only 350 square feet, but it's one of the most iconic spots on Route 66. Leaving Oklahoma City on the way out of town, there was another trading post that didn't seem to be open, and an Owl Court service station that was being rebuilt. This is our last stop in Oklahoma City. It's the Territorial School, the oldest building in the county and the site of the first recorded wedding in the county. While it wasn't open and it didn't have much to do with Route 66, it was still fun to stop at this old school on the way out of town. Leaving Oklahoma City brought us to the town of Arcadia and Pop's Soda Ranch that we had seen the night before. We're at Pop's, the new soda shop on Route 66. They have over 400 sodas in the store. We're each gonna pick one out and the other person has to drink it. The inside of Pop's is fun to explore with a lot of different sodas to see, and there's also a restaurant here if you're hungry as well. Alright, I got Pop's, the Pimple Pop Soda. Really wanted ranch dressing, but they were sold out, so we'll see how this goes.
The most disgusting label ever. Not bad, tastes like marshmallows.
What?
This may not seem disgusting, but I know Josh hates celery.
He got way luckier. I had to get marshmallow flavor. This is like my least favorite food in the whole world. That's disgusting. Right down the road from Pop's is our next stop, the Arcadia Round Barn. As supposedly one of the most photographed spots on Route 66, the Arcadia Round Barn was built in 1898 and it's really cool to see in person. The downstairs has a lot of exhibits on the history of the area and it has antiques for purchase, but the true highlight is the second floor. Built as a community gathering place, the second floor of this building is truly incredible. It was even damaged in the 80s and a group of volunteers brought it back to life so that we can still see it today. There's also an old drugstore in the town, but it wasn't open and it looks like it's been converted into office buildings. Right on the outskirts of town, there's this old stone gas station. There's not much left of it, but there is a story that says that they did counterfeiting in the back of the gas station right through that window. After leaving the town, we started getting hungry, so we stopped at Butcher Barbecue Stand, which ended up being one of our favorite meals on all of Route 66. Apparently this place had won a ton of awards on barbecue-related food TV shows, and there was a long line for lunchtime, so we knew we stumbled on something good. This is the meat locker at Butcher's Barbecue Stand, a Route 66 highlight. Bring your appetite though. This says serves 4 people.
Gotta do the rib, baby. Oh my gosh, just falls off the bone.
Good stuff.
Amazing.
We tried our hardest, but there was no way we could finish this, even though it was absolutely amazing. Honestly, the entire time we were on Route 66 in Oklahoma, we just kept stumbling on cool things. The same can be said for the town of Warwick when we stopped at what looked like an old service station and it ended up being an amazing motorcycle museum. I know literally nothing about motorcycles myself, but even I was blown away by how cool this museum was and how many unique different types of motorcycles they had to see. The station also has what was supposedly a state-of-the-art outhouse for the 1930s in the back. It's not in great shape, but you can still see it. Driving on, we passed one of the famous Merrimack Cavern signs, which are all over the route, and then continued to the town of Chandler. Our first stop there was at a service station, and then we ended up needing some service for our car as well. We've realized that our Hertz rental has completely bald tires. We didn't realize that going in. We're having to change the tire in front of an old gas station, which is about as Route 66 as it gets. After changing the tire, we arranged a car switch in Tulsa, but headed over to the Route 66 Interpretive Center before leaving the city. Pops is taking in the museum.
Neon Nights.
From their bed you can watch the video from. Not a bad way to watch a museum movie. This museum is especially interesting as it has beds that you can watch movies that are played above you from, plus there's a lot of photographic exhibits and other things that you can see. Heading on, we passed into the town of Davenport, which had another old service station to see. There's a lot of these on the road. This town is mostly known for the Rock Cafe, which has a famous neon sign, and it's a popular place to get a meal while driving Route 66. We didn't eat there, but we stopped and signed our names in chalk outside, went into the store, explored a little bit, and then headed on. Also, on the way out of town, keep your eyes peeled for the cool old Chrysler sign they have near the train station. This is the heart of Route 66 Museum outside of Tulsa. It's not open right now, but check out that old gas pump. I didn't see any signs, but I have to imagine that's the world's largest gas pump. Let me know how this museum is in the comments if you get a chance to see it. Our last stop before making it to Tulsa was the town of Sapulpa. They had some old murals and signs about Route 66 right in the middle of the downtown. We made it to Tulsa. We went to Hertz, got the car exchange. Shout out to them for making that process super easy. This is the East meets West statue, and we're gonna explore a little bit. This statue was designed to honor Cyrus Avery, who was responsible for making Route 66 a national highway and for making it go through the city of Tulsa. And that right there is the old Route 66 bridge. This is the recent one. The 11th Street Bridge was created in 1915 and was used until the 70s. Now it's unsafe even for pedestrians, and so you can only look at it. There's a really awesome walking and biking path down here as well. We're heading out to the Mother Road Market. It's like a food court in downtown Tulsa, and then back to our hotel. Honestly, Tulsa is one of the best cities on all of Route 66. There's so much preserved history here, including old signs and even new roadside attractions. So as we were driving to the food hall, we came across Buck Adam, which is a cowboy that was put here in 2018. We didn't even know he existed until today. The sign outside the building said that in May 2018, Buck's spaceship landed in the city of Tulsa. It's really fun to see Route 66 coming back alive with some new attractions like this. We made it to the Mother Road Market, Tulsa's Route 66 food hall. The Mother Road Market in Tulsa has all sorts of fun pop-up restaurants and shops to explore with lots of different food options. So you guys saw what we had for lunch today, so we went healthy for dinner.
Milk.
Yeah, milk. A single scoop of ice cream. They also have a Route 66 mini golf course outside, but unfortunately there was a heavy rain the day before and it had all been flooded, so we weren't able to play. This would be a great stop with a family as it has some of the most iconic Route 66 stops right in the middle of each of the mini golf holes. From there we drove around to see a few of the neon signs lit up at night and then made a stop at the oil driller statue. Just to get a sense of scale, there's my dad, there's the Tulsa guy. Known as the Golden Driller, he stands 75 feet tall and he's become an unofficial landmark for the city of Tulsa. On the way back to our hotel, we stopped at the Meadow Gold sign and at the Buck Adams Space Cowboy again to see what they looked like with the sun setting behind them. And that finished the end of our day on Route 66. Morning day 9, we're leaving Tulsa. First stop is at the Blue Dome and we're going to go through Kansas and make it all the way to Carthage, Missouri. The Blue Dome is another service station that was built in 1924 and the attendant actually lived upstairs. We also stopped at the Circle Theater and a few of the interpretive sites before getting to our last stop in Tulsa, the art piece known as Route 66 Rising. This is Tulsa's Route 66 Rising sculpture. You can see it in the roundabout on the way out of town. Built in 2018, this sculpture represented the hope people had as they drove Route 66 for a new life. It's also a great metaphor for the city of Tulsa and how they're bringing Route 66 back to life as well. 20 minutes later, we were in the town of Catoosa at one of the most well-known landmarks on Route 66. We're outside of Tulsa today, and this is one of the ones I really wanted to see. It's the Blue Whale. The iconic Blue Whale of Route 66 was built by Hugh Davis in the 1970s as an anniversary gift for his wife. For decades, it was open to the public for swimming and became a popular attraction along the route, but unfortunately it fell into disrepair, and it wasn't until local efforts raised money to restore this Route 66 icon. Now today you can still experience it, you can walk through it and even climb up into its head. It was easily one of my favorite stops on the entire drive. About 20 minutes past the Blue Whale of Catoosa, we stopped at the Will Rogers Memorial Museum. This museum is dedicated to the famous entertainer and it houses all sorts of exhibits, photographs, and even videos from his life. Will Rogers has a strong connection to Route 66 as he was influential in putting the route on the map back in the early days, and the route was even unofficially named the Will Rogers Highway in 1952. All along Route 66 you'll see memorials dedicated to Will Rogers, so it was great to be able to learn more about the famous man. While it's not technically on Route 66, definitely stop in the town of Foyle at Ed Galloway's Totem-Pole Park. About 10 minutes off Route 66 sits Ed Galloway's Totem-Pole Park, which features about a dozen different totem poles, including the world's largest concrete totem pole. Standing at over 90 feet tall with a 30-foot diameter base, this totem pole was created in 1948 and it's really interesting to see. The park also has the Fiddle House, which is a concrete house that he made, and inside it has dozens of the different handcrafted fiddles he made as well. From there, we got back on Route 66 and stopped at a few old buildings and service stations before eventually making it to the town of Miami, Oklahoma. The town of Miami had an old theater to see and the famous Cuckoo Hamburgers, which is known for its sign. We continued on to the town of Commerce though, which was the hometown of Mickey Mantle. The town has a statue and a few other things you can see while you're there. If you're interested, you can also see Mickey Mantle's childhood home while you're in Commerce. This is the coolest part of Commerce though, this old gas station connected to the building. I was really excited to see this spot after seeing pictures online, but apparently after talking to some of the locals, it's not really that old. Anyways, it's still a cool place for pictures. Across the street is the Dairy King though, which is a historic spot on Route 66. This was a service station that was built in 1927, and then a few decades later it became the Dairy King. They make fun Route 66 cookies, and it's definitely worth stopping by. If you're looking for something else fun in Commerce, you can pick up these Route 66 cookies right here at the Dairy King. After leaving Commerce, we made our way over to Kansas, ending our time in Oklahoma on Route 66. If you want to continue this journey with us, check out the Kansas video that I'll post next week or in the description if it's already been posted. And you can go to throughmylens.com for more information on all these spots and others on Route 66.